Hi, welcome to Text Them All. My name is Thomas, and today I'll be walking through some basics and an overview of our platform. First of all, what is Text Them All? We are an automated text and voice messaging platform, so we allow you to message your audience quickly and efficiently. Our platform allows you to send both high volume voice calls and text messages. You pick if you want to send a call or text. We'll help you get those out quickly and show you the results within your account. So we really simplify mass messaging by helping you get important messages out quickly to your group. In addition to mass outbound messaging, we also allow you to handle two-way text conversations. So if you send a mass broadcast out to several numbers and you get some replies back, you can then use our platform to branch off and carry on two-way conversations with those individuals. So that's our platform. But about our company, we have a really cool, unique culture that we hope helps give you a positive experience when using our platform, whether it's dealing with our customer experience team, or it's working with an account manager like me, or perhaps you could just speak with our engineering team to give us ideas on how to improve our product. We want to have a pleasant and positive experience for you, and we hope that we can provide a tool that helps you be more efficient, but also you get to interact with people who passionately care about our work and about helping you. One other thing to note, we don't allow any spam or marketing messages as well as political messages. We are all about sending messages to people who want to receive them. So if that's your case, then we won't be the best product for you, but if you do have an audience of people who want to receive these messages, you have the correct consent to contact them. We'd love to help you out with your messaging needs. A little bit about us, we have a really neat manifesto that we stand behind. I'd encourage you to visit our website to view our About Us page, learn more about our history, our employees, some of the standards and the values we stand behind. So please check that out on our website. I think you'll learn a lot about us and kind of learn more about what we stand for. One of the things we're most proud of is our manifesto, which shows you just some of the most important reasons of why we come to work each day and what we're trying to do beyond just sending out mass messages. But today we are going through the basics. I want to show you how the platform works and just some things that'll get you comfortable using the system. So as I mentioned, we offer both a texting and a calling platform. With our texting platform, what's really nice is that whenever you give us your phone numbers that you wish to contact, our system does a lookup. We'll be able to determine out of your numbers which ones are landlines and which ones are cell phones. So we'll know who can or cannot receive text messages. You don't have to worry about determining that yourselves. We're going to give you that information for you. You can also choose exactly when you want your messages to be sent out, whether it's immediately or a later date and time. You can schedule that within your account. Like I mentioned before, to be able to manage the responses coming in from your messages, so if anybody replies back, those are going to be visible in your account, and you can carry on a two-way conversation to branch off and have a one-to-one messaging back and forth with those recipients. You do have the option to text from your business phone number, so we can take your existing landline number and you can send text from that within your account. Additionally, we can provide you a text number as well. We also have some really great texting features such as templates or personalization, meaning you can have some stored canned messages in your account ready to be used as a template. Also, you can personalize your messages, so you can include things like the individual's name or perhaps their interview time. You can have as many personalized fields throughout your text as you'd like, so each individual will see the information that pertains to them. On the calling side of things, you can send mass calls as well. So again, you can schedule when you want your messages to be sent out. You can adjust how fast or slow your calls are sent. That's mostly used to help you handle the inbound calls back to you. If people are calling you back with questions or they want to discuss further, you may want to adjust how fast the calls are sent. You also have an audio library in your account, which will allow you to have, again, some canned messages if you want to pre-record some to be used multiple times. It's a nice feature. And the way the system works is we call them traditionally. If the phone rings, if they answer the phone, we'll play the message that you record for them. If the call goes to voicemail, then we'll leave it there and play it on the voicemail system. All right, now I want to get into an account demo, show you how the system works. Everything with our service is user-based online. So you'll just go to our website at textthemall.com where you can simply click sign in to get into your account. You'll just enter in the username and password that you chose whenever you first set up your account. Now, I've already logged into my account here, so I've logged in on my home page. I'm going to see several different things. First of all, across the top, on my home page, like I said, at your home page, you're going to see any recent broadcasts that you've sent out. Broadcasts are what we call mass messages. So these are some recent messages I've sent, whether it was a text or a call, we'll see those listed here. You're going to be able to search through these. You can filter by date range, you can filter by different types of broadcasts, so you can narrow down and find exactly what you're looking for. Also on the homepage, if you are on our credits plan, you'll see how many credits you have available. You need credits to send messages, but we'll discuss more about credits here in a little bit. You can also choose to create a broadcast. This is your mass message. So this is where most people start, is by jumping in and sending out a message. That's done here. Conversations is where you handle all of your two-way messaging back and forth. So those are where you handle the replies and all of your one-to-one texting. The contact section is where you can have different groups in place, and you can have as many groups as you'd like. You can get contacts stored in your account if you want to. Let's read that. And then you've got your message library. This is where you have those audio and text messages stored for you to use as needed. I want to quickly just touch on contacts to show you how that looks and how that works. Contacts is optional, kind of depends on your industry. If you are managing and sending messages to the same individuals several times throughout the month, then contacts make sense for you. If you already manage contacts in a different database elsewhere, you may not need to duplicate those efforts within Call 'em All. So you may just want to export from your system and upload a spreadsheet at the time that you want to send a message. But if you do want to manage contacts, you do it under the contact section. You always have an everyone group. This will include all phone numbers that are included in all of your groups. But then you can have as many subgroups as you like. So I've got a handful of groups in my account. You can see, I can click on each group name to see the individuals who are part of that group. If I was to click on a group name, you'd be able to see the number, the name. If there were any notes for the individual, that would be here. What's really nice is once these contacts are in here, you can very easily make updates to them. So you just click on a contact to update their name, their phone number. You can have up to 3 contacts that's 3 phone numbers per contact. You can also have a notes field. I can see which groups they're a part of. I can also see if they've opted in or opted out of any of my messaging. I will quickly create a new group. So I'll just call this our basics webinar group. Once the group's in place, you can get contacts added in here by either manually adding them one by one, where you would have to type in their information. All we have to have is a phone number, but if you wanted to have the other additional details to keep you in the loop of who this person is, probably helpful to have their name along with their number. But number is all that we require. You can also upload a file. So if you wanted to upload an Excel or a CSV spreadsheet, you could do that. You would just choose it from your computer. You can select the file you want to use, and then our system will pull those in, and you'll have those contacts added to this group. So I'll go ahead and import in those names and numbers that I have in my file, and now they're listed in my group. One other nice thing about the contact section is you can really make updates and move people around as you need to. So if one drag and drop some individuals and put these in this other group as well, I can make those changes really easily. So it's very user-friendly, easy to navigate. Contacts are pretty basic. So I just wanted to show you that you can have as many groups as you'd like. You can upload files, you can add contacts manually if you wanted to have those contacts stored. But now I want to jump into creating a broadcast. That's really the meat of our product. So I want to show you how you get out your message. So when you click on create broadcast, you're going to see it's 4 steps to get your messages sent out. Now, these steps are quick. Once you do it a few times, it's like riding a bike. But I am going to walk through each step pretty in depth so you can really see all the different features and options you have whenever sending a message out. So let's say that we want to send out an interview reminder for some of our candidates. You name the broadcast, whatever you'd like, only you will see this. So it really just helps you identify what the messages are going to be about. And then you get into your delivery settings. So do you want to send a voice, a text, or a text and voice? If you choose voice only as your message type, that's going to be a phone call to all the numbers on your list. So we're going to call all the numbers you give us, whether it's a landline or a cell phone, and we'll deliver the voice message that you record. If you choose text only as the broadcast type, that's going to be a text message to all the cell phones on your list. Like I said earlier, we distinguish which numbers are landlines and which are cell phones whenever you give us that list. So if you choose text only, we're just going to message the cell phones on your list. Obviously, we cannot text a landline, so those would be removed from this broadcast. The third option is a text and voice combination. This is where we will send a text to the cell phones and a call to the landlines. So our system will split it up, and we'll send the appropriate message to the appropriate phone number based on the type of phone they have. You'll hear that I mentioned it was a text or a call. So that's the default. You can send a text or a call, meaning, again, text, cell phones, call to landlines. If you want your cell phones to get both a call and a text, you can select that option, but that means that they're getting a call and a text simultaneously. So it's up to you if you want to get that information out to them in both methods at the same time. For this demo though, I'm going to choose just to send a text or a call, one or the other. Next is my start time. So I can schedule this to start immediately, or I can choose no, and I can select the date later on. Let's say I want to set this up in advance. I'll set it out for a couple weeks. So you can choose up to 2 years in advance of when you want your message to be sent out. All right, since I chose both the voice and the text broadcast type, I've got to do some voice and some text settings. So for my voice settings, first of all, broadcast type. Announcements, pretty simple. You record a message. Like I said, if they answer live, play the message for them. If it goes to voicemail, leave it there. So it's pretty standard. Survey is more interactive. This means that your recipients can press a number on their keypad to respond to you. So if you want to ask them a question, such as, will you be there tomorrow at the meeting? Please press *1. If you can't make it, please press *2. You can give your recipients options *1 through *9. They can press whatever number they like on their phone, and then you'll be able to see within your account who pressed what number. So we'll give you those real-time results to show you the survey responses for each of your recipients. We also offer a transfer option. This allows people to transfer and talk to you live after they've heard the message. So if I was one of your recipients and I got the message, in your recording, you would tell me that I could press 0 if I'd like to be transferred in to speak with someone live. So it just allows me to press 0 on the phone and then transfer me through to your phone line so we can talk immediately to discuss the details. For the caller ID, you could just choose what number appears on the phone whenever your calls come through. So you can pick whatever number you'd like. You can have the number come from your office phone. That's if you want people to be able to call you back, they'll probably hit redial and get back with you pretty quickly if they have questions. So just be prepared for those callbacks. If you want to use your own number, you can. We also offer a replay line you can use. That's this 877 number here on my screen that I'm using. The replay line will just replay the most recent message sent to the individual if they call back. So if you don't want to have people calling you back personally, you can use the replay line where they would dial back and hear the recorded message that you sent them played again. So those are your voice settings. And then for your text settings, you'll choose what number you want the text to come from. Like I mentioned before, you do have the option to text enable your existing landline number. Now, we also will give you a text number. So whenever you create your account with Texamol, we will give you a text number for your message to come from. That's your own number. It's for you only. You can brand it. You can tell your employees or whoever your recipients are that this is your text line, and they can store it as a contact in their phone, and it will be the messages that they receive going forward will come from that number. So my account, here's my text number. But if you want to bring your own number to us, you can. There are some restrictions as far as volume goes when it comes to how many texts you can send at one time with a local number, which we're happy to explain to you. So feel free to contact our team if you want to learn more about the pros and cons of using either a local number for texting or the toll-free text number. I will say the toll-free text number we give you, there are no restrictions to how many people you can text at one time. So if you have large groups of people in mass who need a message, you want to use a toll-free number we give you to ensure that they all get the information. So I'm going to keep that selected for my account, but I can have multiple numbers. If you need more text numbers, just let our team know. We can give you additional ones, or you can bring your own to us, like I mentioned. All right, I'm going to click continue to move on to step 2. Step 2 is where I choose who should be included in this message. I have a few options here. So number 1, I can add from contacts. If I want to choose from some of those stored contacts that I showed you before, I can click on, that basics webinar group. If I want those individuals to be included, I can add them directly into this broadcast. You can click multiple groups. You can click on a group if you want to view the group and pick individuals out of the list that you want to narrow down to, so you can get exactly who you want added to this message. Option 2 is pasting from your clipboard. So if you want to copy and paste from a Google spreadsheet, for example, you can do that here. You can add individually. Again, that's going to be manual, but you can enter them in one by one if you'd like. And then finally, you can upload a file directly into the Create Broadcast page. So if you don't want to manage contacts, you can upload a spreadsheet from your computer. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to pull in the spreadsheet that I have created. And our system is going to show you the different details that we find. So in my file, our system found a first name, a last name, some kind of notes field, and then a phone number. Again, the only requirement is the phone number, but if you have other names or details that you want to include, I encourage you to do so. Now, if our system gets it wrong for any reason and we don't identify the column heading correctly, you can click Modify, and you can select a different column heading that should be identified as. So this looks good to me, phone 1, first name, last name. I'm going to change this one field here to be time. Let's even the example here. So I'm going to submit that as my custom field name. The reason why is because I can insert in this field into my text later on. So if I wanted to put in a specific time for each recipient, I can use that column heading, and the system will automatically show the correct time for the correct recipient. And I'll show you more about that in 1 second. So I've updated that just to get that column heading saved as time, so I can use that in my text message. Then I'll go ahead and import those in. Now, whenever we do the import, we're now doing a lookup to show you which numbers are landlines and which are cell phones. So in this case, I have 34 calls or 17 texts. So that's 34 landlines and 17 cell phones that our system found in my file. You click on each column or on each section if you wanted to view which recipients are getting which form of the message based on the type of phone that they've given you. You can always add more or edit the recipients as well. I'll move on to step 3. This is where I get my message crafted. So since I am sending some calls and some texts, first of all, I will have to get my voice message completed. Option 1 is to record a new message. If you do that, then we'll give you recording instructions, and you simply call in over the phone and record the message you want to send out. You also have the option to upload a file. So if you have an MP3 or a WAV file saved to your computer, you can use that. Finally, you can select from your message library. This would be those previously recorded messages that you have stored in your account. So if you have some messages you use quite frequently, you can have those stored in your account, and you can quickly grab one of those to be used again. For this broadcast, I'm going to choose to record a new message over the phone. So we'll be giving those recording instructions to you in a few seconds. And then next is a text message. So for my text, I have options as well. I can type out a new text on my screen here. If I wanted to, put out a new message, I can do that here. I also can choose from my template library. So again, we have the audio library, we have the text library as well. You can grab one of these messages and use that as my message. You can always come in here and change some of the details if you need to. So that's always an option. For this broadcast, I'm going to make a new message. So I'm going to put in a few of those personalized fields. So I want the person to make sure this grabs their attention. So I'm going to put in their first name. So I'm going to click on this button here, which is the personalized button. And I can pull in the first name field from the file. So I'm going to put my first name. I'm going to use another personalized field to put in their interview time. So I will say, and I'm going to insert in that time field that I uploaded. And from there, all I have to do is apply the personalization from the file that I uploaded. So now you're going to see that each individual recipient is going to see their name and their interview time. If I want to preview everybody, I can do that as well to see each recipient and that their information is being displayed based on what was listed in that file that we uploaded. The last thing you can do with the text is you can also include an image. So if you want to have a photo along with your text, you can upload that from your computer. Okay, finishing up here, the final step is to review, make sure everything looks good. And I will schedule and get the recording instructions. So my text is all scheduled, ready to go. I still need to record that voice portion for the calls that I'm sending out. The way that works is you call into the 866 number that we provided here as the recording line. You enter in your message recording ID. This is a unique number that's different for every broadcast you send, so it's just used once. And then you just follow the prompts over the phone to record your message. Our system will walk you right through it. You can listen to your message, make sure it sounds good. You can re-record it, get it just right. Once you're happy with your message, you can press 1 to save it, and we'll send it out in the time you specify. So now to my homepage, you're going to see that I now have these messages that I've just set up. My interview reminder message. The text is ready to go in 11 days or so. I can still get those recording instructions here for the voice portion. Now, once these messages begin going out, our system will begin showing you the real-time results of what's occurring. So I wanted to show you a message that I sent out recently. This was a call that I sent out. I can see that this was a call that went to 6 individuals. I can see the timestamp of when it started, when it completed. I can play the message here, and I can also see a little snapshot of who got the message live and which calls went to voicemail. We're going to also sort those out for you. So you can see all calls that were sent out. Then I can see each individual category to see who answered live, who went to voicemail. If there were any busy or invalid phone numbers, we're going to sort those out for you as well. If you do a survey broadcast, here's where you would see those survey results as well. So you could see who pressed what response on their phone. Now with calling, it kind of ends there. They're going to call you back. You may talk to them over the phone and get things squared away. But with texting, there's another step to it because they could start replying back to your text messages. So with the text that I sent out, let's open up this one that I sent recently. I can see this message that I sent out. Again, timestamp, some details of what was included. You'll see the message that was sent, a recap of how many were delivered, how many replied. In this case, all were delivered successfully. There were no failed messages or invalid messages, but we're going to show you the different details so you can see exactly who received the message successfully. And if anyone responds to you, those replies are going to be visible in a few places. One of them is here under the replies tab. You can view these different recipients that I sent the message to along with the response. So they have some questions, they have some preferences. From this page, I can reply directly to that individual. It will pull up the conversation with this individual person. So I can see the past messages that we've sent back and forth. Messages in green here mean that it was a mass text they received, and then they responded back to me, and I can text them back individually. I can then send the individual text to this one person. So that's one spot to view the replies. The other spot to view replies is where I want to visit now is the conversation section. This is where you live for all of your two-way texting. So on this page, on the left-hand side, here are my different text numbers or my different inboxes. I have a few numbers on my account, but the one I most use is this number here at the top. So you can see if I click on this number, I'll see any active messages. I can click on this one, which is the one I just responded to. Let's say I call Jeanette, she's all handled. I can mark this conversation as done to get it out of my inbox. Now I've got some new messages here. So individuals saying, what's the pay rate? Or again, what's the pay? I'm interested. I can click on each of these categories and I can then pull up the conversation on the right-hand side where I can then respond back to them individually. I can use a template message for my response. I can also include a photo. And then once they're handled, I can, again, mark them as done. That'll get them out of my inbox. I'll move them to my done folder. I can always come to the done folder to see my past conversations. You're able to search there. You're able to determine exactly, any conversation you want to locate. You can view it. You can pull it back into your inbox. So it's not going to go anywhere. Just getting it out of the way so it's a clean view on this page. But you can always mark messages as done. You can opt numbers out, or you can mark them as unread. So if you wanted to remind yourself this person needs some attention, you can mark it as unread to ensure that you're viewing those unread counts on your navigation bar here, as well as my inbox here. Also on this page, you can start a new conversation. So if you wanted to text somebody without going through the steps of creating a broadcast, you can send a text on this page directly. It's going to go immediately to them. You can put in a number manually. You can also select from your groups. But on this page, you cannot text more than 15 contacts at one time. So it's more for a small group, and it's an immediate message. Finally, the third place to view replies is down here under the recent broadcast section. So I can click this option to see those same replies that I viewed earlier on the broadcast details page. It's just a different view of it. So you can just quickly click between different conversations of my different recipients and open the sidebar here to respond back to them. So again, this page is where you handle all of your one-to-one messaging. Think of the broadcast as the mass, and then conversations is all your two-way messaging. All right, last few things I want to mention before we wrap up for today. The library, I'll just quickly show you where you can manage those messages. So you've got your audio messages. You can add a new message. We'll give you recording instructions to call in just for the audio library section. You can always upload a file as well. And then for the text library, you have your templates in place. So you can set up new templates, You just give them a name, and then you can put in the message you want to include. Your templates can include photos, they can include personalized fields. You also have the option to mark your both audio and text as starred or as shared, or both. So starred, just make sure they never get archived. If you mark a message as starred, our system will always keep it in here for you. If you mark it as shared, it'll be shared across the different users of your account. So while I'm speaking of users, I want to quickly just mention that as an option. Last few things is under the settings section. You can have as many users on the account as you like. If I go there quickly, you can see that I can have as many users in place. So if you want to give other individuals within your organization the ability to manage the system, you can add a new user. You just put in their information, give them a login, and then you give them different privileges as far as what they can and cannot see. Can they see all broadcasts or just the ones that they create? Can they see all contact lists, just the ones that they've set up? So you can set up each user, and you'll be able to choose what abilities and preferences they have whenever they log in. Last couple things I want to mention, notifications. This is very important if you're going to be doing your texting with us, because you can turn on to be alerted whenever you have unread replies. So we can alert you via email or via text or both that you have unread messages that need your attention. So you can create notifications to let you know that you've got some messages that people have responded to and they may need your attention. The text settings, this is where you can put different just preferences in place as far as how many characters your messages are able to be. We have some other features like a text phone launch option. You can manage your text numbers, you can name them. So this gets into the more details of your text options. And then for voice as well, you can set things like your default caller ID number of retries that we attempt to send messages if we get a busy or invalid number. You can also adjust the call speed. If you want to change how fast calls are sent out on your account, you can do that here. You can edit the speed of messages. And you can finally manage how long the message can be. So on my account, I've set myself to stop at 1 minute, but you can see that I do have the option to have longer voice messages. So that's the basic walkthrough of an account. There's more stuff in there, but those are really the main things I wanted to show you with a basics walkthrough. Now let's quickly describe the different pricing plans that we offer to see what might be best for you. First of all, we have our pay-as-you-go plan. This is a good plan if you are sending messages to different groups all the time. So if you're calling group A today and group B tomorrow, it's a good option. Or if you're sending less frequent messages to your same group, credits could be a good option. On this plan, you buy credits and you need credits to send out messages. A credit is a 30-second voice message or a 160-character text message. And you can go longer than that. Like I showed you a moment ago, you can go up to 2 minutes for your voice message, and you can actually go up to 640 characters on the pay-as-you-go plan for your text messages. But every 160-character increment is a credit, and every 30-second voice message is a credit. So if you're messaging 100 numbers with a 30-second voice message, you need 100 credits. If you're messaging 100 numbers with a 160-character text message, you need 100 credits. But again, the longer the messages, the more credits you'll need, and you need credits for each number that you're contacting. And our system will always tell you, if you don't have enough credits, we'll show you that you need to buy additional credits, and we'll give you that amount, how many you need, depending on the recording length or the length of your text messages. Credits never expire, so you can take as long as you need to use those up. You can use them over month to month, year to year. And then when you buy in bulk, the price per credit decreases. So you can check out our website to view the different tiers, but it ranges from 5 to 9 cents based on how many you buy at one time. So you can buy your price down if you want to buy a higher volume of credits as they never expire. The other option is our monthly plan. This is a good option if you're messaging the same contacts several times throughout the month. So the monthly plan, you can send as many calls or texts to your group as you need to, but the group needs to remain consistent. So that's a good fit if you, again, are messaging the same people throughout the month. The cost per month based on your group size. So the larger groups you have, the higher the monthly cost. So just go to our website where you can view the different tiers for this plan as well to see where your group size falls and what your monthly cost might be. A couple things I'll just mention real quick on the monthly plan. You are limited to that you cannot send any photo messages. You cannot do the live transfer option. And finally, you are limited to the number of characters that you can send out on your account. So whereas the pay-as-you-go plan allows you to send 640 characters, the monthly plan limits you to 320 characters. So just be aware of that. best for you. Finally, if you ever have any questions, please use our team as a resource. Like I said at the beginning, we pride ourselves on giving a positive experience for both our users and the recipients of our messages. If that's never the case, then please reach out to our team. We are in the office from about 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central, but we do offer after hours and we can support for emergencies. So please utilize our team. If you have questions, need help, you can call, chat, email with us. I also encourage you to visit our support site. It's at support.textamal.com. It's a great resource. It's got videos, screenshots, articles, everything you'd possibly want to know about your Textamal account. Go to the support site. You will see instructions for everything that's in your account. So it's a really, really awesome resource. I encourage you to go there. If you're a visual learner and want to browse through and see all the cool functions of your account, please go there to learn more about things that we weren't able to cover today. But if you ever want to chat about it, like I said, call, chat, email. We're happy to help you through those questions. Make sure you're comfortable using your account. So feel free to reach out to our team if you have any questions. Thanks so much for joining me today for the Basics webinar. Hopefully you learned a few things. We're excited to have you on board. So thank you so much for trying out Textamal, and we look forward to working together.